In this video I will be showing you another nice feature which we refer to as dual view. It enables you to watch the graphs of two shares simultaneously. Let me show you how this works. Let's say the first share we got our screen is Foschini, and we'll bring it up by typing F-O-S-C, and there it is, Foschini. We click the enter key and Foschini opens up. Now let's say we want to compare Foschini's performance to that of Trueworth, or in other words we want to compare Trueworth with Foschini the other way around. All you need to do is bring Trueworth also to the screen. And there are two ways of doing this. You can either go to File and select this feature here, Add Second Share, or you can right click and select Add Second Share here. Personally, I find it easier to use the Quick Access menu by right clicking, so in this case let's use this particular feature here. So click on it, and now we say, alright, we want to now start watching Trueworth. So TRU, and the moment you type the letter W, it will load it automatically. Now at the moment the graph is still minimized, so let's maximize these graphs. And now you have both shares. The top one, Foschini, with the closing price as it was during the last download date. Then below that's Trueworth with the closing price as it was on the last download date. And below that is the volume for Foschini. Please remember that the active share that you have loaded, or the principal share in this case, is Foschini. So all data on the screen refers to Foschini. The Trueworth portion is down here, and that actually just reflects the performance of Trueworth against Foschini. In this case, as you note, both graphs look very similar, but you can actually see the differences quite quickly. And that you can do by bringing up the data window. Now the data window can either be brought up here from the little icon next to the letter W on the top menu bar, or you can merely do it by pressing the space bar. So in this case I'll press the space bar, and that brings up the crosshairs, as we refer to them, and the data window at the same time. Now as you move the crosshairs, you will see that the prices in the data window actually do change. Now the top portion of the data window again shows you the prices for Foschini. The black, in other words, anything in the black is related to Foschini, which is in the top here, and in red at the bottom is the closing and high and low and open for Trueworth. So by moving this, you will see the difference in prices. So whilst the two graphs look very similar in shape, you can immediately see that Foschini's price at 48 Rand or 4,800 cents is about 1,000 Rand or 1,400, 1,400 Rand rather, more than the price of Trueworth. To close the data window, you press, or to select a little cross on the top like I've shown before in one of the previous videos, and there it's gone. Another nice feature, incidentally, which I haven't shown before and which just comes to mind, is the possibility of using the scroll bar or the scrolling wheel on your mouse. If you have a mouse, and I think most people have nowadays, a mouse with a little wheel on the top, you can actually use that to move the graph left or right. In this case I'm going to move the graph to to the right. In other words, I'm going to go historical, and by turning the little wheel you can see that the graph actually moves day by day to a different position. Here there's an interesting point. You will see here that True's price went up quite steeply, whilst Foschini's price actually came down. And thereafter Foschini started to rise, whilst the True's price started to go down. Now, what you can also do is compare, for instance, Foschini to the sector. Now, the sector you find here, the sector name is General Retail. Now, let me show you how you do that. First, you've got to remove True's from the screen by, again, right-clicking and select the option directly at the top of the menu called Delete Second Share. Now we take this again. Now let's take it this time actually from the File menu and add second share. Now because the letters TRUW from the last time are still here, all we need to do is use the backspace key on your keyboard and delete that. And now what I want to bring up here is the General Retail sector. So all I do is press JSE G, and I'm now looking for General Retail, General Industrial Index, that's not it, General Retailers Index, there we go. Looking at the long name, and I click on that and I say open, and there we have it. On the top now we have Foschini, and below Foschini we have the actual sector performance. So here you can see while the sector was rising, Foschini was similarly rising, but it started leveling out a little bit, and then when the sector dropped, Foschini dropped. So you can see that Foschini obviously has a fairly high influence in this particular sector. Here again you can see both prices were dropping. It was in October last year when we had the sort of crash on the market. This is a very nice feature to use if you want to compare one share against the other. Please bear in mind that only on the top share can you project any indicators. So for instance, if in this case you want to put the Bollinger Band, you can do this, and it will accept those defaults. Press OK, and the Bollinger Band will only show here, whereas down on the second share you will not be able to do this. Main reason behind this is that you would very seldom want to do analyzing of a share performance with two different shares on your screen. To again delete the second share, select your right mouse key, delete second share, and if we now want to remove the Bollinger Bands, which stay there as well, you can say delete all indicators, and bingo, they're all gone. For those of you who have not watched one of the previous videos called Add Function Keys or Function Keys, you will see these at the bottom here, and that particular video explains what these little icons here actually do, and I would seriously suggest to you that you actually go through that video, because these are an exceptionally useful additional feature of the program. This finishes the discussion on the dual view screen, and we suggest you try it, and I'm sure you will enjoy using it.